Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at our first Lost Origin deck. I was meaning to do some Lost Origin videos earlier. You know, the set's been out for almost 3 days now. I was meaning to do some Lost Origin videos earlier, but I didn't really get around to it. I was really just kind of a little bit hardcore testing and trying to figure out what deck I want to start off playing this format. I started with Reggie's, and then that kind of was like, it's a little bit too inconsistent for my liking maybe. But I've traded for Giratina, so we're going to take a look at Giratina VSTAR, definitely the most hyped deck out of the new set. There's just so many things to like about this card. First of all, in PTCGO, it looks amazing. Like, this card just looks so cool in PTCGO. But the artwork is cool, but the attacks are even better. We have lost impact for a Grass, a Psychic, and a Colorless Energy, dealing 280 damage, and then you put 2 energy attached to your Pokemon into the Lost Zone. So that's obviously just nukes almost everything in the format. You're going to be getting a KO on everything except for Mew VMAX usually. And for Mew VMAX, you have the V-Star Power, Star Requiem, which for a Grass and a Psychic says that you can only use the attack if you have 10 or more cards in a Lost Zone. But if you do have 10 or more cards in a Lost Zone, your opponent's active Pokemon is instantly knocked out. So that can be used to take when it can want to knock out on literally anything. Like, there's only a few things that will actually go around this. Things like Wash Water Energy will prevent this. Things like Big Parasol prevents this. But other than that, this is just going to be getting a one-hit kill on anything, which is extremely good. In combination with the amazing one-hit kill potential on the very first attack, Lost Impact. So yeah, this is the list. We're running, I think, like almost like a pretty standard list here. We do, of course, have 4 copies of Comfy with the flower selecting ability. This is once on your turn. If this Pokemon is in the active spot, you can look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one of them into your hand, and then put the other in the Lost Zone. So this allows you to get more cards in the Lost Zone to power up your Giratina V-Star power, or more importantly, your Mirage Gate, which is how you're actually getting Stellar Energy into play, which says you can only use this card if you have 7 more cards in the Lost Zone, and then search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards of different types and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like, which is really good for powering up our Giratina, since its attack uses 2 different types of energy. So Mirage Gate is just an insanely broken item card, honestly. We haven't really seen an item card with acceleration of this much power since Beast Ring. And Beast Ring was like extremely specific. This goes onto anything, and in theory be any time in the game. You know, technically you can pull this off on your first turn if you're lucky enough. So Mirage Gate is an extremely strong card. But other cards we have in the deck, we have one copy of the new Sableye, which has 2 attacks. One of them is bad, but the second one is really good. And for Psychic Energy, you can do Lost Mine, which says you can only use this attack if you have 10 or more cards in a Lost Zone, so like the Giratina V-Star Power. But if you do have 10 or more cards in a Lost Zone, you get the payoff of putting 12 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. And 12 is a very good number. This can knock out the Barrel. It's going to knock out Regieleki, the Terraspark Regieleki. It's going to knock out 2 Sobbles. It just has a lot of different uses, and can set up things for getting knocked out with our Giratina if we're up against like a VMAX that has that, like, you know, a little bit more HP. So Lost Mine is just really strong. It's also a very good way to finish the game. Like, if usually we only actually have a 2-2 line of our Giratina, which means that we're only usually on average using 1 Giratina a game, which might sound like, why are you only using 1 Giratina a game if it's so broken? That's because 1 Giratina will usually take 4 prize cards, and if it's not taking 4 prize cards, it's taking 6 prize cards. Because the Giratina has no weakness, it is really hard for this guy to get knocked down in 1 hit. So he is probably going to be taking 4 prizes. And if he doesn't get hit for a turn after he attacks, then you're probably taking all 6 prize cards with the Giratina. But that's just how good Giratina is. But to finish off the game, we do have a copy of Sableye, which you can also get back with Thornton if you need. And Lost Mine is just a very strong attack. Another single prize Pokemon we have is Cramorant with the Lost Provisions ability that says if you have 4 more cards in a Lost Zone, ignore all energy in this Pokemon's attack cost, which is insane. So Cramorant attacks are free if you have 4 more cards in a Lost Zone, and 4 cards in a Lost Zone is a lot easier to do than 7 in the Lost Zone. So Cramorant is a very quick attacker that can help you recover from sticky situations, like maybe you can get a Giratina V down turn 1, things like that. Cramorant can apply pressure in almost any scenario, which is really strong. Then we have some support Pokemon. We have one copy of Lumineon V, which is the only other multi-prize we're playing in the deck. we're kind of playing like a multi-prize or single prize or fusion kind of deck. But Luminia V is just a really strong Pokemon with the Luminous Sign ability that says when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, search your deck for a supporter card, put in your hand. So this is most of the time going to be getting us a Colossus Experiment, because Colossus Experiment allows us to get more cards on the Lost Zone as well as build up a really powerful hand. We have one copy of Rank Greninja because Concealed Cards is really good for consistency, considering we play 13 energies, 6 basic grass, 6 basic psychic, and a capture energy. Concealed Cards is really nice for getting rid of those if we have too many of them in our hand. And I want a copy of Manaphy because this is actually really important for the Palkia matchup. From a little bit of the Palkia matchup I played, it seems like Palkia has a pretty decent time if they're able to Moonlight Shuriken to Giratinas and then just knock both of them out, and like with the rock sand weaved in there. That's usually I found that that's one of Palkia's main win conditions. But another of their main win condition is putting an Empoleon V active. And Empoleon V has the ability that says that as long as it's active, your opponent's basic Pokemon without a rule box have no abilities, which turns off your Comfey, which is really bad. Comfey is your main consistency engine. So the way we're going to combat that is we have 2 copies of Escape Rope, which forces your opponent to move that Empoleon V to the bench so you can get access to your Comfey Flower selectings, which is really strong. Also, Escape Rope a lot of the time will just be another switch card, and it can be really annoying in the right situations if your opponent only has a couple Pokemon on their bench. Like they're going to have to choose which one they want to sacrifice. Going into our trainer cards for VIP Pass and for Quick Balls as like the basic Pokemon search, really consistent. We want to be able to set up as often as possible. We have 1 copy of Energy Recycler, which says shuffle 5 basic energy cards from your discard pile back into your deck. Because we have Greninja, because we have Quick Balls and Ultra Balls, we're going to be pretty aggressively discarding our energies. And Energy Recycler can just help us get those energy cards back in the deck so we can have them again for use with Mirage Gate. We have 1 copy of Pursuing Heavy Ball, and that's just because we only play 2 Giratina V. So if we prize one of them and we want to establish a second Giratina V star to attack with, then Heavy Ball is going to be mandatory. The other thing we can use is Thornton if we need. If we like prize that or had to discard the Heavy Ball and we need a second Giratina, Thornton can kind of fill that role for us as well. We have 1 copy of Lost Vacuum, which says you can use this card only if you put another card from your hand on the Lost Zone, and you choose a Pokemon tool attached to any Pokemon or a stadium in play and put it in the Lost Zone. So this can get rid of Path if you really need access to Greninja, and it can actually get rid of your own stadium. And since it says instead of discarding that stadium, you actually put that stadium plus the card that you chose to Lost Zone in order to play the card in the Lost Zone. This Lost Vacuum can be plus 2 to the Lost Zone, which is really strong. And even in the situations where you're not Lost Zoning your own tool or stadium, it's still plus 1 to the Lost Zone on an item card, which is really strong. And just having that as an option in the deck is good. It can get rid of Big Charms, it can get rid of Choice Belts in case of threatening knockouts, thing like that. Mirage Gate, which I just took out, but we already talked about Mirage Gate for Quick Ball. Pretty like standard for decks nowadays. For Scoop Net, so we can reuse our Comfeys as often as possible. To switch, because sometimes we don't want Escape Rope, and sometimes Escape Rope is just straight up a bad card, and Switch is good for that as well. 2 Ultra Balls, because we need to be able to search out our Giratina V-Star, and then 2 Lost Cities as our stadium card. Now, this might seem a little bit weird, but the reason we're playing 2 Lost Cities is because to basically like almost guarantee the Reggie matchup. Now, because the Reggie deck plays usually only 2 copies of each of their Reggie, then having a Lost City in play and knocking out one of the Reggies, that means they're only going to have access to 1 of those Reggies. And if you play a second Lost City, they bump the first one, you play a second one, and you boss knock out the same Reggie you put in the Lost Zone before, it's actually impossible for them in the Age of Wisdom, which is really strong. And this is one of our main win conditions against Reggies. The other one that we can use kind of in tandem with the Lost City is actually tagging with Giratina V. Any Giratina V that doesn't have 40 damage on it from Terra Spark is pretty tanky, and usually won't get 1-hit KO'd by a Reggie deck early in the game. Later in the game, they can Evil Tall and stuff, but earlier in the game, Giratina V is a pretty solid attacker because it's pretty tanky and hard for them to knock out, and it doesn't require resources to knock out Reggies. That's the main thing that this deck kind of struggled with against the Surprise deck, is that resources. Because Giratina V-Star puts 2 energy attached to your Pokemon in the Lost Zone every time you use its attack, it is really resource intensive, and you only have so many energies to actually attack with Lost, I forget what it's called, Lost Impact on the Giratina V-Star. So having a Giratina V that also basically has the same amount of HP as Giratina VSTAR in the right circumstances and requires 0 resources in order to actually pull off the attack. I mean, it does require resources. It requires more OHKO, but it doesn't get rid of any resources when you actually use the attack. It's really, really good for that as well. And we also have 2 copies of Boss's Orders, 4 copies of Chorus, 1 copy of Thornton, and then our energies is 6 basic grass, 6 basic psychic, and a capture energy, and that is the list. And let's just go ahead and get into some games with the Giratina deck. Hopefully we can hit some decent decks and have some pretty good matches here. All right, there we go. Okay, we found a match. Okay. So our opponents have a single strike Urshifu deck box. So we'll have to see if they're actually playing single strike Urshifu. We did win the coin flip, so we're definitely gonna be going first. Okay, actually have Rapid Strike sleeves as well. So it looks like they just like Urshifus. This probably means nothing about their deck, honestly. I probably read too much into the deck boxes when I play online. Alright, let's see what our opening hand is. Got a Giratina V. We do have a Comfy. This is a extremely good opening hand. We have 2 Scoop Up Nets, a Comfy to start with, a Giratina V. This is almost everything we want from an opening hand with this deck, which is extremely strong. Alright, so let's see what we're up against. Lunatone Solrock. Alright, this matchup is winnable because we have our, I'm blanking, of the Lost City. We can actually get rid of their Solrocks, which is pretty good. They also can have a pretty difficult time when killing any Giratina V-Star. So we're just going to start off this with Flower Selecting. What do we want here? Probably Quick Ball. We already have the other Ultra Balls. So we have access to Giratina V-Star next turn if we want to. Now we're going to VIP pass and definitely going to get Comfy. Oh yes, we also have Sableye and Kramer as some single price attackers in this matchup as well. We're just going to get Comfy and Radiant Greninja. Yeah, we'll get both those out. We're going to use concealed cards with this energy in our hand. We don't need to get energy down next turn. We don't need to get energy down this turn because next turn we're most likely attacking with Cramorant, and that was a pretty solid draw. We got Horse's Experiment off that. Now we're going to bench this Giratina. We're just going to start doing our Comfy chaining. Let's see what we get off this. Mirage Gate. I mean, we don't really need any other base Pokemon. We're pretty happy with this board state, so I don't think we actually need that VIP pass. I think we could just get rid of that. Mirage Gate is pretty good. You can pull it off, obviously. And let's do another one. Okay, Scuba Net and Switch. We're going to take Scuba Nets. I think we're actually going to save this just because we don't really need to do anything else this turn. Let's just bench that, and I think pass, honestly. If our opponent does get a KO onto our Comfy turn 1, things might get a little bit rough, but we'll probably should be able to pull it down. But there's the Manaphy, and the reason they're playing this Manaphy down is because some Giratina lists actually are choosing to play Water Energy so they can actually attack with the Radiant Greninja and take a double knockout. Now this is definitely a valid worry from my opponent, but this is honestly probably just going to be Sableye fodder because we actually don't play Water Energy in our list. It's definitely something that if you want to try it out, you can. It's pretty decent, but in this list specifically, I just wanted to go kind of a little bit more straight, simple forward with the deck. There's a Quick Ball discarding Psychic Energy, obviously. There's a Lunatone, or a Solrock, so they're going to start to be able to get some energy in play. Yeah, they're really turboing through the deck. They have a Trekking Shoes, a Pokestop, there's another Lunatone, and then Radiant Greninja. Using the concealed cards, I would be very surprised, honestly, if they didn't pull off attack this turn. They're having a very good turn 1. Yep, another Trekking Shoes. And so they took that. That's probably going to be the Quick Ball, or yeah, the second Solrock. Here come the Sun Energies. Turn 1, we're going to be getting knocked out, which is fine. If we can find a Lost City this turn, that'll be really good. Okay, so there's the Trekking Shoes. Okay, now they did smell a Research, which is pretty good. What did they get off that Pokestop? No, it doesn't tell you. That's rough. Okay. So let's see what they're gonna do. Okay, just Moonkinesis knockout. Alright. Pretty good turn 1 for my opponent. We're definitely putting this up because we have the Scuba Net in our hand. But we're probably attacking with this Cramorant this turn. Now, what cards we have in the Lost Zone? Tagging with a Giratina V-Star this turn, if we can, is pretty nice, honestly, because It's harder for them to KO a V-Star this early in the game, but easier for them to later in the game. So maybe we actually want to save our single prize attackers till later in the game. So we're gonna flower selecting. Definitely want this because this card does nothing for us at this point. So we're gonna take this grass energy. Now we have 4 in the lost zone. So let's just concealed. See what we get here. No scuba net. Okay, and then there is the Lost City as well. Pretty good. Chorus. Let's just rip that. Definitely want this. Definitely want this. And maybe switch. Yeah. We'll just go ahead and take the switch as well. Okay. Now, I think playing this doesn't sound bad because we can actually run them out of attackers. They are down one of their Pokestops. They're already actually down 2 stadiums. And I believe at this point, if we just use another config, we actually have the full 7 in the Lost Zone as well. So let's just go ahead and get that quota. So if we can't find a Giratina V-Star. Now we do have the Ultra Ball because we really have to. Definitely want to keep the Sableye. We do have the Ultra Ball in case we have to do that. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have to. So I'm actually just going to play this. We can get rid of Comfy and Quick Ball. And grab out our Giratina V-Star. We actually prize both of them. Oh, no, that is not ideal at all. That is pretty unfortunate. I guess I will just get the other Giratina V. Oh, that's kind of rough. Now the question is, do we think they can get the knockout on this Giratina? This is a pretty tough decision. I think I just want to play it safe and go in with the Cramorant here. So we'll just go with Cramorant. Playing the Lost City feels bad because if they knock out here, which they will probably do, then we actually can't recover this Cramorant. So I think we want to wait another turn to actually play this down. Because I think having access to another Cramorant is going to be more important in this matchup than Lost Zoning their attackers this early in the game. So, yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and spit innocently for knockout. Let's see if we can't find a Giratina V-Star. Okay, so it's our second boss, which is not bad, actually. Now, let's see here. Okay, there's energy. There's the rescue carrier. Get it back to the zone. Now, this next one, actually, we can actually just go Mirage Gate onto our Giratina V, attach Lost City, and then Boss Lost Zone one of these Soul Rocks. This doesn't sound bad. There's the Pokestop. Okay, using that Poke I got. I think Marnie, okay. So Marnie here is pretty annoying, actually. Okay, they're actually choosing the boss instead, which actually, I think this is pretty. Yeah, I think we actually prefer this because keeping this Cramorant around is really nice. We also get the ability to boss and Lost Zone this as well, which is pretty cool. So we're just gonna go ahead, Lost City, boss, and then if they're just gonna build up a whole bunch of energy on a Luton, we can just knock it out the Cramorant. We want to bench that? Not really, I don't think. And we can just use Shred for the knockouts. And that does go in the Lost Zone. They don't get access to that anymore. And there's our second Lost City. Okay. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, there's a second Moonstone. Okay, torching that one up. Makes sense. Okay, energy retrieval as well. And conceal cards that away. Yep, so they're drawing a decent amount of cards. Yeah, there's another energy, so we're gonna have a second Lunatone to deal with here. Okay, and then the Marnie as well. which is unfortunate, especially if they find a Pokestop. But we can still, I mean, I think we can still probably deal with this. We actually lose our boss, which is annoying. Okay, they don't bump the stadium, which is nice. I'm just going to take the knockout. Our Giratina does go to the lost zone, but I don't think we really care about that. We actually do have the Luminion for boss, which is cool. But the question is, do we really want to put a liability in play? I'm just going to use fire picking. Capture energy. Yeah, we need to take that capture energy. And we're going to have to deal with these Lunatones at some point. And maybe, honestly, the time might be now. I mean, these two Lunatones are just going to keep building energy, which is pretty bad. We could assume that they actually have no more Lunatones left after our lost one. Like, we could assume maybe they prized one, but that's probably not a good idea. This is a rough decision. I think I really don't want this 2-prize liability on play, as this Lumion it's easy to knock out. I think we'll just go for Sableye and retreat into the, what's it called, and knock out their Lunatone here. Play Chorus. Okay, we definitely want this. We definitely want this. This as well. Get those two in the lost zone. Okay, and then we'll just spit in something for knockout. And let's go to the lost zone. Did we finally find a Giratina VSTAR? We don't. Oh my gosh. Okay. Honestly, a cool little play we could do actually is attack with Sableye here to both of these Lunatones, and then Thornton into Sableye again and do it again, and lost on both of those, which actually sounds pretty good to me. No, we still just never win the trade. That's the thing. There's Pokemon Catcher. Probably bring up Sableye. Yep. Yeah, we just never win this prize trade. I think this is the turn when we have to get our Giratina V down. How many energy do we have in the discard pile? We actually don't have access to that Sableye anymore because they lost into 2, 3, 4, 5 again. So we can conceal cards, I think. Grass. Okay, still no Giratina V in sight. There's Giratina V. We definitely want these. These we don't care about. And then we can play the Quick Ball, discard the Heavy Ball. Okay, grab that out. I think just attached to it and hope that we draw a Giratina VSTAR and they aren't able to boss. I mean, they do play Pokemon Catchers as well. This matchup is pretty rough. I guess we'll just go attach and KO. And hope they don't do the thing, honestly. Okay, we do find a Giratina VSTAR, so that is step 1. They are down 2 of their attackers. There is the other one. Now, honestly, I think probably what I should have done is just knock out their attackers, or lost down their attackers. Okay, there's Pokegear, so that's probably game. Or Pokegear for the boss, so that's probably game. Which sucks. I mean, if that's not game, then I think we actually win. If they don't KO anything this turn, I think we do win. Okay, so actually they're powering their other Lunatones, so it's a good sign. Now, if they boss us Giratina V, I think we are in a pretty good spot, honestly. Because we can just retreat it. Okay, so they don't boss it. So, I think now we just have to KO and hope. Yeah. KO and hope. Now, do we ever lose? Do we ever play around escape rope? I think, sure, why not? We could just bench this and play around escape rope. Grab that, I guess. That doesn't really matter. We'll just go attach recycler, I guess. Some energy back in. And just start Requiem and hope they don't got it. Basically, hope they don't. Oh wait, no, we know they have it. Wait, I'm so stupid. We know they have it. So they actually got boss up Pookie. There's no way we're in this game, which is sad, but it is what it is. I think I definitely should have just knocked out their attackers. Yeah, well played, dude. I definitely should have knocked out their attackers or lost on their attackers, which would probably have guaranteed me this game. But you know, live and learn. That matchup is definitely winnable, but I definitely did play that non-optimally. So let's get into another one here. We're going to go up against like a Arceus deck or a Palkia deck. I really want to show that matchup. So let's see. Okay. We do win the coin flip again, so that's a good start. Going to be going first. And our hand is Mulligan. Okay. And Comfy start. Alright. This hand is very, very good. Maybe Giratina is just like extremely consistent. Like maybe that's just how the deck works. Maybe it's just like a consistent deck. What it does. Who knows? Okay. So we're probably up against, this looks like, honestly I have no idea, because it would have been Reggie's, but they have a rescue carrier, which is strange. Alright, so there's our Giratina VSTAR off the rip. Okay, it is Durant. Oh boy, how do we win this? Oh, we just lost on their Durant. Okay. This is winnable, 100%. So this is definitely a matchup we just go lone Cramorant, maybe. If we just find our couple lost cities as soon as we can, this matchup seems fine. So we'll just VIP pass. We did prize our Cramorant, which is a thing that is a little annoying. I think we just get out Comfy, and that's it. Because we want to be minimalistic with what we're doing. We'll just flower selecting. We'll take that. We have course in our hand. We don't really care about that, at least for a couple turns. Flower selecting energy. Yeah, I mean, it feels bad to get rid of the switch out, but it is what it is. If it worse comes to worse, it's actually possible for us to attack with Comfy if we really have to. Now, the fact that we can actually KO their Durant with our Shred is nice, because if they echoing or Yellhorn, we can just evolve and get rid of confusion. So we're going to attach and then probably just pass. Now it is annoying we don't have access to Cramorants unless we do find our Heavy Ball. Speaking of Heavy Ball, there's their Heavy Ball. Because that will make, if we had access to our Cramorant a little bit easier, that would make this matchup like very free, honestly. Okay, and there's the Durants coming out from them. Okay, and that's win. So we're getting milled 2 right off the bat, which is fine. 2 cards that are like okay. We have Energy Recycler if we really need that. So we're just gonna flower selecting Thornton. Yeah, I like Thornton. And we can go Chorus. Do we find Heavy Ball? Okay, we don't, but there's Lost City. Let's go Nets and Energy. Yeah, so they want to be pressuring our energy. So we'll grab that. We also want to attach to this turn, ideally, as well. How many do we have in the Lost Zone? Only 5. In theory, it's possible for us to pull off Mirage Gate, but I highly doubt it. I don't think it's worth expending our resources to do that. So I think we can just comfortable attach and pass here. And then the following turn, if we find a Psychic Energy, we can hopefully get going with our Lost City game plan. Okay, so they're just going to Devour again, so they don't have a great hand. They do discard an Energy and a Scoop Net, which are 2 pretty decent cards, actually. Flower selecting. We don't need this. We can just take this, I guess. We can skip a met. Put up our own comfy, and hopefully we can find a psychic energy here. Hello, psychic energy. There's psychic energy. Okay. All right, so we'll just go psychic energy, switch, and we're not going to play chorus because we want to keep our deck as thin as possible, and we'll just go shred and put them in loss now. All right. Get a prize, quick ball, useless, not Grammarant, which stinks. You do actually, even now, I still want to find a Cramorant, because if they do boss stall this, we can quick ball the Cramorant away and throw the Comfy into the Cramorant. So we actually have 0 liabilities on our bench, and they can see it. Okay, yeah, that matchup is pretty miserable for them. Honestly, it's very, very difficult for them to pull that one out with the Lost Cities in the deck. And Lost Cities is like surprisingly solid, like very solid card against the single price decks. Alright, so this is probably going to be the last one of the video. So let's see what deck we're up against. They do have a Metal Coin. So this could be you. We win the coin flip again, man. Okay, this could be Arceus VSTAR PTCGO, which is a deck that is like pretty decent in theory. I haven't tested it much, but in theory it's pretty good. We have Mulligan, which is good because this hand would have been atrocious. If we got like a Giratina V, this hand would have been awful. So let's see. Alright. And okay, this hand is fine. We have a Comfy, we have Giratina, we have Energy, Squibnet, everything we want almost. I think the only thing we don't have is like Colress or like a VIP pass. But let's see what we're up against here. Alright. It is Zacian. Okay. How does this matchup go? We probably just like hit them over, like, we should probably just hit them 3 times. I mean, and that's probably how we win this. Zamazenta does nothing because we're not the max. They play bench stuff. There's like no bench stuff for cool bench attackers. Okay, there's VIP pass. Awesome. There's no cool bench attackers for metal, I don't think, that are at least good or half good. So then we'll just play this. We have V-Stars in the deck. We have both our V-Stars. Okay. Lost Cities, Thornton. We are actually we did prize 3 Grass Energy, which is definitely worth noting. Well, I think for this will just get Ninja and Comfy. Yeah, seems fine. Nothing else we really need. We have double energy in our hand, so we can actually get an attachment down as well. We'll just use Concealed. Find a couple cards. Okay, now we're gonna scoop a net to this so we can do Flower Selecting again. Flower Selecting. Ooh, okay, now the scuba net's definitely this. I believe I did see all 4 of them Mirage Gates, so that's fine. Okay, scuba net again. Let's just keep digging. More cards than Lost Zone. Okay, now we'll take the Mirage Gate. We don't really need any more basics, honestly. At least at this point, because we also have a Quick Ball. Pretty safe on that front. How many cards do we have in Lost Zone now? Like, yeah, 3. Okay, so we should be pretty well set up here in terms of a Giratina attack next turn. We'll just get both these guys down. Attach or not attach? I think not attaching is fine. I think I'm pretty comfortable just passing here. This hand is pretty decent. Not attaching there just because we can ninja with it next turn, as well as we can, if we do, because we actually still do need one to attack, we can just find one off the course. Okay, there's Avery doing nothing because we have 3 Pokemon on our bench and nothing else. It's also impossible for us to get bossed. Like for them to have like some crazy pop-up turn to just get bossed. Okay, there's Cape of Toughness, which does nothing because they have 270 HP and our Giratina does 280. Station just a little bit too low HP now. Football is going to research. That is a sign that their hand is either they have a lot of like cards in their hand, like a lot of draw supporter, or I don't know. This is probably just a sign that they have like a pretty good hand. There's Greninja, which is actually pretty decent in Zacian now that I'm thinking about it. So getting rid of metal, drawing 2. There's a Saucer, okay. Another Quick Ball. Switch cards, okay. Okay, Arceus. So this is actually Arceus Station, which is definitely an interesting deck. Something that like at the start of the Brilliant Stars meta all that time ago was like something that I was thinking about, but it's just Arceus is just outclassed by so many things now. So many things. All right, using Intrepid Sword, they hit a Metal Energy, which is worth noting, but they actually didn't get energy down to their Arceus, which is definitely a misplay from them, I think. Now we did top deck Grass Energy, which is good. Because we actually don't have many of those in our deck, so just getting that guaranteed to attack is nice. I'm just flower picking. I definitely want Cram. Oh, this is actually tough. Lost City probably doesn't do very much against them, so we'll just get the Cram. They probably don't play Path either because they have 2 Zacians and a Greninja in their deck. How many cards do we have in the last one? 4? Okay. Soul Chorus. Okay, Scuba Net, definitely want that. Definitely want this Grass. Now, the question is, do we want our Thornton or our Experiment? We had our other Giratina deck, so I think it's fine to take Experiment. Now we actually do have Guaranteed Attack here, which is cool. We're Flower Selecting. Switch, we don't need that. The mini on our hand is pretty stacked right now. No Ultra Ball, discarding this Quick Ball and Manaphy. Yep. Get our V-Star so we can get this guy rolling. And then we actually can. Oh wait, we don't have any grass in the deck. Oh wait, that's actually really bad. Yeah, because we prize 3 grass. We don't have any grass. We just have psychics. Yep. Which feels really bad here. Actually, no, this is fine because we can just attack next turn. We can bench these guys and then switch into our Cram, at least put on pressure, set this up for a Sableye knockout later. And if they attack with this, we just knock it out. If they attack with this somehow, like if we switch, we just knock it out. So this is actually, I think this is fine, even though we didn't get full value off Mirage Gate there. We would have liked to Lost Impact there. If we do Lost Impact there, I think we do like pretty much lock up the game. Let's see. There's Cape, which once again does nothing. Now that actually that's a lie. This actually Cape does do something now because actually I can't knock them out. Wait, can I knock them out? Yeah, no, I can't knock them out with the Sableye now, which is worth noting. I can knock them out with 2 Sableyes in theory, but I did lost them the Thornton over here. Okay, Avery, that's a pretty easy comfy discard. We don't need one of those. That is kind of like a comfort bench right there. So let's see what our opponent has. They have the V-Star power, or the Arceus V-Star. No, they can't boss us, so they're putting on like very little pressure right now. Using Starbirth. This could be a couple saucers, so they can actually get up the attack here. But like I said, they're like, even if they attack with Zacian here, it's like very little pressure. Our Giratina does not really care about Zacian. Okay, let's see if they got them. They could have something funny up their sleeve. They could have some Ludicolo or something that's like bad, but is there, and I lose too. Okay. Let's see what they got. Okay, conceal cards. No, they definitely didn't get energy off Starbirth, and if they did get energy off Starbirth, they're that bad player because they could just search for the cards they want off concealed. Okay, so there's a saucer coming down. They probably need switch, which Air Balloon doesn't switch them, but switch card does. Okay. That's all feeling the 30. That's fine. We don't care. Quick ball. Is that getting rid of Marnie? Okay. Arceus V. Okay, there's Arceus V coming down. Maybe just Blade. Okay. So we're pretty safe to just knock out here. There's nothing really as any sort of threat after we knock out this Zacian. Yeah, so we'll just go up with this Giratina. There's Recycler. No, do we have any grass in discard? We don't. We'll just do Chorus. Do we find a Barrage Gate? We do, which is nice. 2 Psychic Energy, though. Oh, that's pretty rough. We definitely want this, and do we want the Chorus? Lost having these 2 Psychics feels bad, though. Honestly, we probably don't need the Quick Ball right now, because our opponent has putting on very little pressure, like I said. No more Mirage Gate. Now, if there's at least one in the deck, which there is, okay, then that's nice, because it means that we don't have to lose one of our grass energies. How many do we have? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So we have access to Requiem next turn to kind of sustain our amount of energies we have left. So I think we're fine. Just Lost Impact. Take that at KO. And then go down. Or lost one of these 2. See who got off the prizes here. Okay, Grass Energy. That's nice. Another Grass Energy. That's nice. We can get those into the discard pile with Greninja and then Energy Recycler, then back into Get Value with Mirage Gate. Putting up the Ninja, okay. Let's see what they got. Sealed, okay, it's fine. I'm just waiting for the thing that actually makes their deck good. Okay, Ultra Ball. Here and what the? Why are you playing Registeel? Oh, probably Miltank. That does do 170 damage versus Miltank, which is actually not that, or 120 versus Miltank, which is actually not that bad that I'm thinking about it. It's actually a pretty decent metal Miltank count, honestly. This is Arceus, getting energy down, and a Marnie, okay, that's pretty decent considering we did have both of our bosses in our hand and our the minions prized. I could see us just not attacking here. Okay, Rope is actually extremely good. Rope is actually nuts because it forces them to give us a 2-prizer, which is exactly what we want, is a 2-prizer this turn. Honestly, we don't care what 2-prizer it is. This is Shoving Sword, okay. Now we do need an energy still or some pivot in order to be a bag of the escape rope. But I think it is definitely worth it. We can Quick Ball, Heavy Ball, find Giratina. Okay. Then we can Rope. Force them to put up a 2-prizer. Probably this, maybe this Arceus, I don't know. Let's see what they put up here. Okay, Zation. We'll definitely take it. Flower picking, what do we get? Not the not what we wanted. We're definitely taking the Recycler, but not ideal. They do need a lot to get this out of the active now. Like, they need a lot in their hand if they just want to KO this. So I don't feel too bad mentioning this right now. So I think we can just do that. Yep, and then pass. If they do knock out this Kung Fu, this Arceus, like that switch and stuff, I just KO them with Requiem, the game's over. Okay, there's Crystal Cave, and we actually can use their Crystal Cave, which is funny because we are Dragon type. If that ever does become relevant. Okay, these are seal cards. Now, honestly, I probably should have played this in order to have a higher chance of top decking energy that we can Greninja just attach. Okay, there's the switch card. Okay, so you've now fully healed the station, which is fine. Now the big thing about the switch card that actually matters is the fact that they actually did switch. Okay, now whoa, okay, they're going in with aggressivization here. Now they could boss, honestly. Okay, yeah, they're okay. Whoa there, buddy. Okay, that's actually no, that's fine. That's fine. Because hopefully we top deck something. Even if we don't, they're gonna have to like go into Ninja for a couple turns in order to stay in the game. But now we definitely just play this. Energy Recycle. Oh, actually, only 2. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Oh wait, because we have all the energies, other energies in our deck from the morning. So we can just start Requiem and knock them out. Okay, cool. It is possible for us to lose this game. Okay, now it is more difficult. Vacuum as well does almost nothing. I mean, it does actually no, that does do something against Big Charm. Let's see what they got. field. Getting rid of a metal. There's a choice spell that doesn't really fix any math, I don't think. And if they retreat here, yep, okay, we just win. Because we have energy in hand, we can use Lost Impact, KO them. Okay, Avery doesn't matter. Another choice spell doesn't matter. And Tree Nova. Okay. And that is GG. Giratina did the thing. KO'd stuff. Alright. Pop. Lost Impact. Just lost some of these. Okay. And yeah, that is the Giratina deck. Very, very strong. Very, very strong. We only lost to my misplays, which you love to see that. That the reason you lost is something you can actually have control over. Ooh, do we have enough for a pack? Oh boy, let's go buy a pack to finish off the video. See if we can get a good card like Giratina. Alright. This animation takes way too long. Okay. We finally go to the shop. Okay. Let's go get a pack. Oh boy. Very exciting. Yep. Pack time. Now, if I just got a Giratina, I would just instantly get some of my packs back that I used to buy the Giratinas. That would be very hype. Let's see what we got. Okay, we have, okay, 4 Cabby, that's not bad. And Landers, okay. Oh well. Well, yeah, that's gonna do it for the video, guys. If you guys liked it, don't forget to leave a like. If you guys want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. This Giratina deck is very legit. Even with just like we're just playing a very pretty thin 2/2 Giratina, and we're just having a good time KOing things. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.